Today we'll be taking a look at how to import data from Excel. In addition, we'll be looking at how to omit rows from imported data from Excel. So let's get started. The first thing we'll need to do is to set our file location. In order to do this, I usually just create a name variable. In this case, I'm working with an Excel file called color.xl. So first, I will set the name variable color underscore location. This is just a random name I personally selected. You can select any name of your choice. However, I use this to set my file location path. I open brackets here. Now, I will need to find where my file is located on my computer. I come to the file directory and then I copy all of this path, and this is where the color.xlsx file is located. Now I take that, paste it directly in here, and the next thing I want to do, very important, is to change all of the backslashes to forward slash. This is important because R will throw an error if you do not do this when you try to read your Excel file. Okay. After that, I must set the name of the file, and the name of the Excel file that I will be using is color.xlsx. I hit Control Enter, and there you go. The file location is now stored in R. Next, I must ensure that I have the right packages in order to read Excel data into R. And in my case, the package is already installed. However, if you do not have the Read Excel package already installed on your computer, you can install it using the package function. Use the function install packages, and the name of the package is Read Excel, and we hit enter, execute the code. After installing the Excel package, I use the library function to mount the package in my current R session. So read library, read Excel, and I mount the package. Next, I want to see if whether or not the Excel file path that I have specified here is actually correct, and I want to see if my Excel file will be read by R. So I usually use a function called Excel Sheets to test this. Excel Sheets, and in Excel Sheets I place the color location variable which I created that points to the Excel location, copy it and paste it directly into the function, and I hit Control Enter to execute the file. Now, what Control Sheet does is show me which spreadsheet are currently available in my Excel file. Here, there's a spreadsheet called favorite color and a second one called country. I could go into my Excel file once more, open it using Excel. When I look at the data, I can see favorite color and country. So now I know that my path was correct and the function is working correctly. So now I can proceed to actually loading the data into R. So let's get started with that. To load the data into R, we use a function called read Excel. Read underscore Excel. Okay. This function provides us with numerous arguments which we can enter. For example, when we hit tab on our keyboard, it tells us which specific argument the function will take. The first one is the path. Hit enter, and path is where our file is currently located. So its color location is our path. We enter our path. Next, we hit tab once more, and here it asks us which sheet do we want to load. In this case, I want to load the first sheet, which was favorite color, and the third argument is the range, whether or not I want to give range as an option. If you want to load a specific range from your Excel data into R, you can do this with this option range. And this next argument asks us whether or not there's column names, and in this case there are column names. We specify true. So there you go, and now we can try if this function will work. As we can see, our data has successfully been uploaded to R. However, it is not completed as yet. The next thing I like to do is also store this object into R using a variable name. In this case, we can call this variable Excel data. Assign the name Excel data to the object read Excel, and now this function is stored with the correct data. Now when we execute Excel data, we should see the data in R. However, this is not completed, because now if we look at the structure of our data, we'll see there's additional tables to our data which may hinder us from doing other statistical analysis later on. So we want to remove all other information which is not required. So with this, I always use the structure function to further observe the data. So the structure function is a nice function that is very helpful when you're importing data into R. So let's look at our structure, Excel, data, and here in the structure we can see there's classes. We do not want classes in our data, and there's a data frame. So let's convert this object into a data frame, and we do this with the function as.data.frame. And this function will now convert this Excel object into a data frame. And when we do it, we can see that it removes these character, double, and character naming variables from our data. And now let's store this again under a new variable name just to show the differences. You could have saved it, stored it once more under Excel data. However, I will not be doing that. I'll be giving it a new variable name, in this case new Excel data. And there we go, we have our new Excel data, and now it's only a data frame. So let's look at the structure once more. New Excel data, and we'll see now that we have a data frame with 5 objects and 3 variables. Objects refer to the row data, and variable refer to the column data. So now we have successfully uploaded our file into R, and we can do further statistical analysis on this file. Okay, so now the question is, what if you only want to import a certain number of rows from Excel? You want to omit the first row because there is some header title which you have no interest in. We can do that. We're going to call this new variable omit rows, omit first row. And now we can copy this function from the top. We're going to make some change to it. So first thing, the path remains the same. It's the color location. The sheet we want to import remains the same. But however, there will be no column names now, because if we go back to our data and we look at it, the colored Excel file, we see that the first row contains the name of the given rows. For example, John, Samantha, Stephen is a part of the name column. Then we have the age column and the color column. If we omit the first row, it means we're going to omit the names of the rows. So there's no names in the rows now. So we put name, column names to false. Next, the sheet we want to add, and now the rows we want to skip. Skip the first row, and now we can execute the code. Now when we look at it, after omitting the first row, let's look at the data. We see now the first row was omitted, means that the Excel column names are no longer included. We omitted this row. We could have done that for the first, the second, the third, and the fourth row. Now we can continue working with our data. However, like before, we must do the same. We must convert the imported data into a data frame. We do that with the as.dataFrame function. So let's omit underscore first row, convert it as data frame. So omit first row. So previously I renamed the object, however I'm using the same name once more to show you that you can keep on using the same name for naming your objects. The variable names are irrelevant. You can name them whatever you feel like. In this case, I will keep the name to show you the difference, that it still functions. So let's execute our code. Now when we look at the code again, when we execute this code, we see that now it's a data frame, and we can be sure if it's a data frame when we use the structure function, omit first row, execute, control enter. We see that it's a data frame with 5 objects, 3 variables, and it shows us that the first one is a character data followed by numeric data and character data. However, we have these names here, 1, 2, and 3. These are character names which R has randomly assigned to our columns. We can change this with the names function. We first copy and paste our object name, omit first row, into the names variable. Then we say what names we want to change. We would like to change the first, the second, and the third column, so we must put the names that we want to replace these things with. So the first column was, if we go, is the name column, so we can say name. The second column should be age, and the third column should be color. So now we execute the code, control enter. Let's take a look at the data to see if we have successfully changed the column names. The column names have been successfully changed, and there you go. That's how you import data into R, and that's how you can change the names of the column, omit row data. Thanks for your time, and we're looking forward to seeing you in our next video.